All right, kind of a bombshell report today. Michael Oher, the center of the hit film The Blind Side, has filed a petition with a Tennessee court alleging the entire thing was a lie, going against Sean and Leanne Tuohy, his adoptive parents, saying they never really adopted him and they forced him into a conservatorship that took full advantage of him and they profited off of him and he didn't see a dime. This has always been a story that felt like it was too good to be true. The hit movie, if you weren't around in 2009, folks, this movie took the country by storm. Everybody fell in love with the heartwarming story of the two parents who took in a kid off the streets and turned him into an NFL offensive lineman. The entire story has always been kind of bullshit to me. There have been rumors and reports that, they embellish in that, but that's what Hollywood's going to do. But this motion now with the Tennessee court says the entire thing was a lie and he never truly was adopted by them and it was strictly a business move. Of course it was a business move. These are slimy boosters for the University of Ole Miss. They profited off of this guy and they just wanted this kid to go to their school. Let's be real here. He was never portrayed in a bright light. They said it made him look dumb, completely homeless. The guy was a 5-star offensive tackle getting recruited by everybody in the country. I don't care how physically gifted you are not a 5-star offensive tackle if you aren't an elite football player and know what the hell you're doing. They just did this to get him to go to Ole Miss. They sold and wrote a book, sold the rights to a movie, made a good bit of money from it, and he didn't see a dime. The report is a bombshell, and the lawsuit filing or petition filing with the court alleges some really gross stuff, really, really bad look. And I know a lot of people have always kind of felt that this story was complete shit, but this shatters the illusion. It was always a nice, bright, rosy story. And Oher talked about it himself. He does have a book coming out, which is kind of coincidental that the lawsuit is filed now, right when his book is coming out. I'm sure that's really going to help the sales. But he said he kind of swallowed his pride. He was hurt. He was hurt by the way he was portrayed in this movie, but he felt that overall it was better as a whole to keep that story going. It helped a lot of people out. He said now he's taken off the gloves and going for blood because these people totally, fully took advantage of him. I'm going to read what the reporting is. It's absolutely crazy stuff. All right, so the 14-page petition filed with the court in Tennessee alleged that Sean and Leanne Tuohy, who took Oher into their home during his senior year in high school, never actually adopted him. Instead, 3 months after he turned 18 in 2004, they said they tricked him into signing a conservatorship document, which gave them legal authority to make all his business deals in his name. This is really sus stuff. Oher has talked about this before, saying because of the way the law was written in his age, they couldn't actually adopt him, and then they just took conservatorship on him. Usually conservatorships are for someone who's physically and mentally unable to make these dealings. If he had just been adopted by them, Oher would have been in full control of his own financial and business dealings. But with this, he wasn't. I think Michael Oher was clearly fully able to be in charge of his own business dealing. This is a major, major red flag, red flag, red flag. And it's taken some time and some digging. The petition further alleges that Tuohys used their powers to strike a deal that paid them and both their two birth children a very lucrative deal, $250,000 each up front, and then as a whole for the family, 2.5% of the netted profits. Now, the movie made $300 million on just a $30 million budget, was nominated for an Academy Award. Sandra Bullock won Academy Award. She was everybody's sweetheart in the country for this movie. And he's saying he didn't see a dime of that. So first and foremost, $250,000, Oher should definitely be getting that from them. If he didn't get that and everybody else in the family got that $250,000, that's a big one right there. Easy to deal with. And then the 2.5% of netted proceeds kind of gets fuzzy there. You got movie theater takes. Some people are saying it's in the $1 to $3 million range. That seems a little bit high to me. We did have the son of the Tuohys talking on Barstool today, saying that he would get a several $1,000 check since this happened. 2009, we're well over 10 years now, getting closer to 15. Like, he got a $14,000 check. his first time, and that's split 4 ways. So they made a significant amount of money from this thing as a whole, and he's been consistently getting checks every single year. They've gone down a bit, but still, this is not an insignificant amount of money. Now, Oher has been set. He had a very lucrative NFL career, played in the league for 7 seasons. He's not hurting for money, but again, it's the principle of these things, and it's wrong. You can't do this to people and not be punished. And that's what he's basically saying here. They're saying he's the whole point of this thing. The movie, the book, their entire careers after this wouldn't exist without Oher. They've proceeded off of all these lucrative deals. Leanne Tuohy has gone on speaking tours, writing books, talking about this, and he hasn't gotten a cut of any of that. That's a lot of money they made. You'd be surprised how much money these people make for giving these speaking engagements. It's a gross amount for doing essentially nothing. Now, there are some good speakers out there, but this lady, not a shot in hell. And so they went to say the lie of Michael's adoption is one upon which co-conservators Leanne Tuohy and Sean Tuohy have enriched themselves at the expense of their ward, Michael Oher. Oher discovered this lie to his chagrin and embarrassment in February of 2023. So that's what happens. When he learned that the conservatorship to which he was consented on the basis of doing so would make him a member of the Tuohy family, in fact, provided him no familial relationship with the Tuohy. So he agreed to this because he thought he was going to be adopted. He was a young kid. He had a very hard life growing up. He was one of 12 kids. His mom was in and out with drug problems. He was sleeping on people's couches. He wasn't homeless or anything like that. Sometimes he was when he was younger, but he was kind of getting it going, and it was made it very, very clear that he wasn't this stupid kid or anything like that. He was just a quiet guy, but he had the drive to be great. He had a friend's father get him into a private high school where he was a prodigy in track, basketball, and football as soon as he got there. So the entire portrayal of the movie was very, very damning on him. And that was the start of his relationship damaged with the Tuohys. He was not a fan of how he was portrayed. Things started getting worse when he found out they were getting money and checks from the movie and he wasn't getting anything. Now, the Tuohy said, we split it 5 ways. I doubt that. And so that really got it. And then when he officially retired in 2016, when he was done with the NFL, he hired a lawyer to start digging. And this was the straw that broke the camel's back after he found out in just 2023 that he had no legal relationship to these people and basically signed over his life rights, which they have made a hefty, hefty penny from. Obviously, now the Tuohys didn't return any phone calls from ESPN. Their lawyers didn't say anything. And there were some other very suspect things going on. They're saying he signed a document in 2007 that gave up all his rights to 20th Century Fox to make the movie, even though Oher's claiming he never signed that document. So that would have been when he was in college. Who knows how that happened? It's really, really wild. Also, some really sussy stuff. The entire family were represented by one agent from CAA, a very major agency, while they were striking this movie deal. But Oher's representation was a lawyer family friend who drew up the conservatorship in 2012. That was his representation that they gave him, but they didn't give him the same agent as the other 4. That's another huge red flag. Basically, everything in this story feels like it was a complete and utter lie, and it was the sum of all the worst fears. In the movie, they portray that these people are just trying to benefit from him, get him to go to their school, and that seems like exactly what they were doing and what they did. It's insane that this thing is having to blow up. They seem like super greedy people just trying to help out their school, major boosters, make a quick buck. They turned it into a shit ton of money, and things have gone off the rails since then. Now, I can't imagine how Oher is feeling at this point, finding all this out. He files this petition to get this thing taken care of. His NFL career is over, and he said the way he was portrayed in the movie. So the movie came out in 2009. He was drafted in 2009. It was all the big hype, all of this going around. It really hurt him in his future NFL career with teams. NFL decision makers felt like he was actually stupid because they saw the movie, and that was not him whatsoever. He felt like he was totally mischaracterized, and it really shortened his NFL career. And it's stuff. Now, there will be some pushback here. People saying it's a coincidence that it came out. Like I said, his new book is dropping. The lawsuit petition, whatever it is, was filed right now. SJ, the son of the family, said he's expected this for about 2 years. He's surprised it hasn't come out sooner. It would make sense that they held off on that until the book was being written. Let's be honest here. It's a smart move. I would wait 2 years knowing that I have a book coming out. I've written a book and I can do this. Wait it. He's not in need of the money. So it'll push book sales. It'll really help out his case. You know, the people will go and buy the book, read the book. A lot of things will be moved because of this. It's an awful situation. It was a complete sham. Nothing feels real in this country. Everything is awful. It's terrible. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did you always know this story was complete and total bullshit? Or did you just think it was just a little bullshit and they embellished to make a better movie? This is terrible. I feel bad for Oher. Screw these scumbags. They're everything that's wrong with college football and the whatever you want to say with them. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, like this video, subscribe to the channel not already, share this video with your friends, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.